There's nobody listening. Hello, hello, hello out there today. You are tuned in to the Freedom from the Night. You are tuned in to the Freedom from the Night. I got some good breaking news for you, and it is in Proverbs Chapter 1, verse 1 through 19. I don't know if some of you all know, but I like to go verse to verse. And also, I like to do, if I got enough time, I like to do chapter by chapter, So if I'm going to start in Proverbs 1, I'm going to go all the way down to a certain point and continue until I finish Proverbs chapter 1. And then we'll move on to Proverbs chapter 2. And I'm trying to work on my consistency. I am trying to work on my consistency. Also, I want to not only do Proverbs, I want to go and do chapter or verse by verse in Genesis and also in Psalms. So that's what I wanted to do. But those are the things where the Lord got me at right now in my journey. So let's talk about it today in the world, Spirit. Let's talk about it today in the world. Also, I don't know if you can see or hear me, but I'm praying that you can see and hear me because it's showing that you can. So let me see. I'm gonna look this up real quickly. And okay. Okay. So we're good. We are good. And also, my internet is a little laggy, but at the same time, I do have a message for you out there. And it is in Proverbs chapter 1. Okay? It's in Proverbs chapter 1. It's always good that you take out your Bible so you can go with me on this Bible journey. Again, I'm starting in Proverbs chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1, all the way down to 19 today. And then I'm gonna work my way through. So first and foremost, in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. But the thing is this. What is Proverbs? We can go and ask somebody about what is Proverbs, and then they tell us their opinion about it, right? We can go and do that. Yes, we can. We can also go and, ask our friends what they think a proverb is after they look into it. Or we can go and do this stuff ourselves. That's the best thing that you can ever do. Is just go look at this stuff yourself. So that's what we're doing today. That's what we're going to do today. So First off, in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1, it says, if you read it, it says that by first answering the question, what is a proverb? Let me just take us back. Again, I got some good breaking news for you. For some of you who want to hear this. Okay? If you want to know what a proverb is, you've been wanting to know what that is, I'm about to tell you what it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to use what we're reading for it to tell us. Because sometimes you're not going to have nobody to go to. You're just going to have yourself. So you're going to have to go in the Word and then get activated to hearing the Lord yourself. That's just how it's going to have to be. Sometimes that's what's going to have to happen. So, I wanted to say this is for spiritual content only as well. This is for spiritual content only. Okay? Yep. Only. Also, like, subscribe, watch, and share, and comment down below. This video, this very important video. Like, subscribe. Okay. What else did I want to say before I start? Or do I just want to start? Yep, we're just going to start. We're just going to start. So, children of the Most High God, salute to you, soldiers. Salute to you. Salute to you. Okay? That's what I want to start off by saying as well. So, we're going to be finding out what a proverb is. What is a proverb? What is it? First, I want to start off by saying that a proverb is a proverb of Solomon. Okay? That's what I want to start off by telling you first. A proverb is first and foremost a proverb of Solomon. And who is Solomon? Solomon is the son of David, and he was also a king of Israel. Okay? That's who Solomon was. Solomon was one of the greatest people when God was using him. He was great. Okay? He was better than any outside people that people recognize and give recognition to in their books on a day-to-day basis. I just want to say that these books here are some of the best books ever wrote. It's 66 of them. And I've read 66 books containing some chapters. Some of them small, some of them long. But the chapters, they're not as much as you would think they are compared to reading books on certain people and then going off of what they say and saying how great of a writer this person is or how great of a writer that person is. Let's first dedicate it to the writers that's been out here before them. And that would be Solomon, Paul, and David. Most majority of them who wrote some very good books. I mean, outstanding books. Better than the law of attraction. Better than how can you meditate on the sun, stars, and moon. Let's talk about that. But I ain't gonna get into it. These some good books. Some books that can take you out of your element and into some new stuff, some unbeknownst to us type of stuff that not even your people before you didn't even discuss this with you. And I just want to bring you some good breaking news and tell you that these people here, when used by God, and God was in it, wrote some good books. And those are the ones who made it in the book. Those who were used by God. Other people and all their stuff with all their wisdom and understanding that was without God, they ain't in this book. They're not in this book. So it's nothing that they can tell me unless God was with them. And it's a lot of people that argue about these are nothing but men that wrote this book. No, these were not just men. That's what you don't understand. These were men with God. Okay? So that's a difference between a man writing a book versus a man with God writing a book. I'm here to tell you that right now. There is a total difference. So it's no argument about who wrote the book, whether it's a person or whatever. All I know is with God, these people made it to the 66 of the books. And then the end was all about the one who actually made it all the way through to the end and didn't have a stop at all. And his name was Jesus. Yeah, his name was Jesus. And he didn't stop and then go and then stop again because of some people. No, he kept going all the way to the end. And so it ended with him, Jesus. Although all the other ones, they went through, they was coming for a little minute. They was all about God for a little minute, and then they stopped. Some of them even murmured and complained and gossiped and dread and feared and all kind of stuff. But the one who really made it was Jesus in this book. And that was a good story told, that he made it. And that's the last part of the book. That's the 66th part of the book, Revelation. It talks all about him. It's a lot of people who quote the 66 revelation all the time, but they don't even know that's about Jesus. And I've said that before. I'm going to say it again. That Revelation was all about Jesus, the stature of him, how things came about, what transpired when he was using when it was other people being used, how he was the one that's spoken for in the midst of every last one of those people way back before him. Because he was already there with them in spirit, speaking through them, operating through them, causing them to write these books, letting us know that in the end of it, it has always been God. And there's still a lot of people who still don't believe. They still just won't believe it. No matter what you tell them, no matter what your life change or nothing. And guess what? Still speak the word of God. Still speak the word of God to these people because they need it. They need it. It is very, very important. But let me get back to, let's get into Proverbs. Let's talk about that. Proverbs. What is a proverb? And we're going to use Proverbs Chapter 1 through 19 to tell us what it is. You don't have to look outside the Bible to get the answers in the Bible. And I'm going to show you that with what I'm going to do today before you. It doesn't mean I'm special or anything like that. I'm just saying this is the news, the broadcasting news that you really need to know right here. And that is that the answers you want are in this book. And a lot of you, some of you know the book all the way through and still don't got the understanding. You got the wisdom part of it because all of that acting like it's been passed down from generation to generation. So yeah, you do act like because of what they knew and what they put in the book and what they told you. Yeah. But do you really know? Because if you really knew, nobody would be arguing about nothing. Nobody would be saying stuff to other people and saying you don't know what you're talking about based off of what I heard somebody else say. No. God would be really in it. Just like he was in these people at the times he was in them. And how he was ongoing with Jesus Christ the whole time to the end. So a proverb, again, let's get right back to it. A proverb is a proverb of Solomon. We can't take this from Solomon. Solomon, he did that. Solomon wrote it. He did that. That's the spirit of God that was on Solomon at that time. You got me? Because nobody did it better than Jesus. Nobody. Not none of these men. Although we're going to give our salute to the soldier. Stop. So, first thing first, salute to Soldier Solomon. King of Israel, son of David. Okay? So, this is how Solomon had a relationship with God when they had it. Okay? And again, the only person who totally went through with it to the bitter end was Jesus. Okay? I'm not going to stress that too many times that Jesus was the one who made it. Okay? So let's get right on into it. I'm going to my notes for the book, Proverbs. Okay? So it says in Proverbs 2, as we go on to 2, Proverbs 2, it says, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. So, what is Proverbs? Proverbs is, first and foremost, like I just read you, Proverbs is to know wisdom and instruction. Okay? That's what a proverb is. A proverb. We're going to say it like that because in the end, I'm going to tell you why I'm saying a proverb. Okay? Specifically, a proverb. You got what I'm saying? Because in the end, it's going to tell you what a proverb adds up to. All right? So what is a proverb? A proverb is to know wisdom and instruction. That's what a proverb is. It's to know wisdom and instruction. All right? So that's the first thing. So think about that. If you want to know what a proverb is going to help you to know wisdom and instruction. A proverb is going to help you know wisdom and instruction. That's the first part of what a proverb is. A proverb is going to help you know wisdom and instruction. Okay? And also what a proverb is. A proverb is what it say in 2, it says to perceive the words of understanding. That's a proverb. To perceive a word of understanding. So I'm going to tell you in this way. What is a proverb? A proverb is also going to help you to perceive the words of understanding. That's what a proverb is. A proverb is also going to help you to perceive the words of understanding. It's going to help you with that. It's going to help you on what that means to you. It's going to help you to perceive it. Perceive the words of understanding. A lot of you got answers to what it means by understanding. Proverb, if you read it, get some word from the Lord. Take that time, that quiet time for about 10 minutes and meditate on that word and get in silence for 10 minutes after you meditate on the word of God. not on the sun, star, moon, nothing like that. No, not that. No. But Proverbs is going to help you to perceive the words of understanding, which also means, this: becoming more aware and conscious, with a conscious mind, of something once it's given to you. Just like Jesus and all of the disciples, that they did, that they were able to give you the word of God. Basically, what a Proverbs is basically something that makes you come to a realization or an understanding. Some sort of realization and understanding. It brings you to that. That's what a proverb is. A proverb will bring you to realization and understanding. Okay? Make you become more aware or conscious of something. Now, if you go and you read the next portion of number 3, it says number 3, to receive the instructions of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity. That's what 3 says. And I'm going to show you right here in simple form so you can understand what that means for you. So what is a proverb? A proverb also will help you to receive the instruction of this wisdom you are given. Also, justice and judgment and equity. Okay? You're going to be given all of this. That's what Proverbs is. To give the student everything that the student needs to live, not survive, live life here on this earth. So a proverb will help you to receive. So first, you have to perceive, right? You have to perceive the words of understanding, meaning that you have to become more aware of or be more conscious of something that is not just the space and air out there, but God. You got to become more aware of what it is God is trying to tell you. So that's perceiving a thing. So that's the other part of what is a proverb. A proverb is the second part is that you have to perceive this thing. You have to perceive it, meaning be aware of it. Other than that, you will not know what you're getting in, and you'll still be like some of the people out here who are not knowing what they are speaking about, or they won't even know because God haven't showed them nothing yet. They still have not been shown anything because they're not aware, meaning they have not perceived it yet. So that's not a proverb. I'm going to tell you what it is called, because if it's not a proverb, it's the opposite. Okay? And I'm going to tell you who the proverb is. And if they are not a proverb, they are the other opposite of it. Okay? So we're going to get off into that as well. But just stay with me, because this is some breaking news, some good breaking news. Okay? So you have to be able to perceive first in order to receive. Okay? What is a proverb? A proverb will help you to receive it after it helps you to perceive it. So it will help you to perceive it. That's what a proverb does. And it will help you to receive it after you perceive it. Okay? And you will receive the instructions of this wisdom that you are given, and also justice that you are given, and the judgment that you are given, and equity that you will be given as well. You will be given wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity to your soul, to your body, to you, the flesh man, which is deep, real deep. You will be fed these things. Okay? Okay. Also, it says in 4, it says, what is a proverb? A proverb is to give subtlety to the simple. Okay? What is a proverb? A proverb is to give subtlety to the simple, if I'm saying that word right. But what that means is this. Oh, I forgot to tell you that the opposite of equity is iniquity. Iniquity. Okay? The opposite of equity, which is equity, is in the spirit. That's your spirit man. Your spirit man leaks out equity, but your physical man leaks out iniquity all the time. All the time. So if you in that man, the only way your iniquity will stop is if you have equity to fulfill it, because that's your spiritual man. Okay? You have either or. Okay? So those are the things that you will receive once you perceive wisdom and a proverb, should I say. Once you perceive a proverb, what that means to you. Okay? Because I can't only say it's wisdom, because you're going to receive wisdom, justice, what it say? Wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. So it's not going to be just wisdom. You're going to receive wisdom, proverb, and what I learned is that proverb is not only wisdom. Proverb is a proverb of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. It's all of them, not just wisdom. All of what I mentioned: justice, judgment, and equity, and wisdom. Now, there are a lot of noise below me and a lot of So don't worry about the background noise. It's just someone who wants to make a lot of noise right now. But they're gonna be okay because we still gonna do this video. So where are we? So as I said, a proverb is given subtly to the simple. Oh, and also I forgot to read. And to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Discretion, if I'm saying it right. So that's what a proverb is. What is a proverb? A proverb is also given subtlety to the simple and given subtly to the young man knowledge and discretion. Okay, so it's given to a proverb is given subtly to the simple, and a proverb is given to the young man knowledge and discretion. Subtly given to a young man knowledge and discretion. So what that means is that it is precisely saying, it's like it's gotta be precise. It's gotta be exact on how it's given to man, because man can take stuff and mess it up. That's how our man suit is. Men and women's suit. That man's suit will mess up a lot of things. So you have to know that man's suit is dangerous without God. Okay? So this means that it has to be given to us. What is a proverb? A proverb has to be given to you subtlety, meaning that very precise saying or delicately. You know how God always says in the Bible how this is delicate? Because this is delicate. Okay, this subtlety means given to you delicately. That's that word. And it's going to be given to you delicately. It's going to be given to you precise and delicately complex. Because this is delicately a complex saying. And you're not going to be able to receive it unless you perceive first. So this is a very delicate, complex saying being brought to you to achieve what it is the Father is trying to say to you, which are difficult for those who don't get it. Those who don't get it, they won't get it. So it has to be given to you in a delicate type of way and very precise type of way. Not saying from somebody else, but from God. God has to give this to you. Just because you go to somebody, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it, what you need from them. You're just going to get what is it? You'll get what you get in part from them. But whole, it takes you to get this very complex saying is going to get into you very delicately and precise. I mean, it's going to bring about a lot of things that you won't even understand. That's number one. You won't understand what you're getting in. And it's a lot of times you won't even you just won't get it at all. So these sayings are very difficult for those who don't get it. And it is given to you to analyze or to describe this very stuff that's given to you. So we all are given what we are given, right? We all are given certain words by God, and it's up to us to analyze it and describe it. And how you analyze it and describe it will be how you dictate your life. And some people wind up analyzing this difficult saying in the wrong way. They will wind up doing that. So that's what will happen. Okay? That will happen. You'll wind up, some people will analyze it wrong, some people will describe it wrong. And that's to do with when God gives you an utterance, which is a sound, and you hear that sound, or he gives you a dream, or he'll give you what else? A vision. It is up for you on how it's up for you, for grabs for you to analyze it or describe what you see that's coming from inside outside of you. Okay? And what you do with it, it really depends on you. Okay? So, as we go on, I'm instead of me using my other notes, I'm gonna read it from my app on my phone. So you'll hear a lot of background noise. It's a lady cursing and yelling for no reason. So you'll hear that. I just don't get it sometimes. People don't know why. So let me see, where was I at? I was on, okay. So I was trying to tell you that that's what it's going to be for a lot of you. And for the young man, knowledge and discretion, that's just saying that the young man, which what is possibly the young man? The young man is not your spirit man. The young man is your physical man. Okay? Young man is your physical man. That's your young man. So a proverb is going to give to your young man knowledge and discretion, which means information and skills acquired to make it through this journey. Okay? That's what a proverb is. A proverb is going to make sure that it gives to your young man, which is your flesh, knowledge and discretion, which means that it's going to give to your flesh from the inside out information and skills acquired to make it through this journey. Okay? With plenty of learning and educating you. Okay? So that you can be able to prove on the outside to be a student. Okay? To be a student. And what I mean by that is what it says in the Bible is to study to be approved. Study mean that's this part. The young man, given to the young man. A proverb is going to give to your young man knowledge and discretion, meaning your flesh from the inside is going to feed you what your young man needs, that flesh, everything it needs, so that you can be able to show that you've been studying to be approved. You've been studying because the inside is fulfilling you in your flesh and what you need. Okay? So, and it also means if you're learning, you're studying, right? If you're learning, you are studying. And you're studying this to be approved, as I got in my note. You're studying this to be approved, and the outside will be in your behavior and in your speaking. Okay? When you study, meaning that you're receiving all of this stuff through getting it all in as God giving it to you. This complex saying, okay, this difficult stuff, and it's coming into you delicately because you got to get this piece by piece, level by level in Christ Jesus in order for you to perceive it, then receive it. Okay? To be aware of it and then to take it in. Okay? So with that, on the outside, you will be given, once you show yourself to be studying to be approved on the inside, because you're taking this stuff from the inside out, you will be with a different behavior. Your behavior will not be the same, and your speech will not be the same, which will be done in a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. See, you won't be going towards offense, like offending your neighbor. You won't be that person that just likes to show up and cause offense. Nor will you be revealing any private information as you are coming up towards somebody. You won't be doing that. And what I mean by that is that, you know how you can go to somebody and you say something, but then you don't expect them to respond or react to what you said. And then sometimes you think that what you said was the right thing to say, and then you don't want another person, what they call it, mirroring you off of what you said. So therefore, you try to stop the offense instead from coming back at you. But the person who is offended is yourself. You are the first to offend yourself. You are the offended. Therefore, you are in the offense mode, right? You are in an offense mode. That's what I'm mainly saying. You will be in like this offense mode, coming at someone as they are coming at you, or even if they're not coming at you, you just walk around gloating in arrogance and talk something, say something, and you don't know what you said, right? You don't know what you said, but all you know is that they said something to you. That's all you know. You know they said something to you, but you don't remember or even you are not even aware of the offense that you took before them. But we all are human. Well, we all are in a human body. And revenge is a thing in the human body. So if you take in to be in an offense mode, then be looking for that person to respond to what you said. All right. So that's what discretion is. Okay. Discretion is that you will be avoiding causing offense or revealing private information towards others, meaning that you will not be easily offended. That's what that's telling you. In short, in the Bible, it tells you that you in what is a proverb? A proverb is a person who will not be easily offended. You will not be easily offended because you will not be the offender, right? Because you're going to speak different, you're going to behave different. Your young man, which is your flesh, is going to do the knowledge and discretion thing, okay? So that means that it's not going to be offending anybody. Therefore, you won't be getting offended back, right? So what you put into the atmosphere, right? That's what it says. You will get that back, right? You've heard that before. People come up with all kind of other words about it, but it just going to this right here. It's going to give to the young man knowledge and discretion, meaning that it's going to teach you how to avoid causing offense and revealing private matters, private information that is regarding that person, meaning that you will not be easily mad, you will not be easily angered, you will not take offense to anything somebody says because you don't know what you said to them, right? You don't know how they took it, right? So you're going to be willing to avoid being in offense and speaking out private stuff that has nothing to do with being who you are now unto Christ. Because when we get mad, we splat out a lot of stuff about somebody. When we get mad, we do that. Instead, in this situation, as the Father is feeding you stuff, you'll give out something different. You'll be giving out what did they you'll be giving out like different things that you need to be giving out. You'll be giving out prophesying to that person, right? That's mainly what this is talking about. You'll be giving prophesying to that person. You'll be speaking life. I tell you that. You'll be speaking life into that person. And guess what? You'll get life back. What you give to a person, they give back. We all have a human body. You don't know what you said to offend as being the offendee. You don't know. You don't know how they took it. And people take things how they take it because people been through stuff, right? They have. And we don't know. So you got to be managing within everything. You got to be the manager of everything. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but this is a complex situation. And you got to know how to go through the complex and know what to say and how to say it to each and every individual without taking the offended mode. Because you are the offended, the offendee, the person. When you start speaking, You got to watch what you say. If you're cussing, then that person is going to get offended because you're cussing at them, right? If you're talking about how somebody is and they do that, blah, 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 well, you're going to get something pertaining to that back towards you, you know? So do know that it's just going to be revenge because that's what the flesh likes to do. It loves to get revenge. Okay? It loves that. So that's what you'll be. You'll be avoiding that. You'll avoid causing offense at all times. You will be starting to speak life into somebody. You'll start to speak prophesying into someone. You will start to tell them something that will uplift the brethren versus saying that you know what you did yesterday. I don't even like how you took that out. You know I'm a man. I'm a man. And you talking to me like I'm not a man. Nah. Because that's your rib on the other end. That's you. That's a man too. The suit of the man is next to you. Your opposite, which is a woman. So you speaking to her and she ain't hearing you. Now speak to her in a non-offensive mode. That's mainly what it's saying that when God fulfills you, you won't be offended. So therefore, you won't give offense to the brethren or the sister, your counterpart, your real, the helpmeet. You won't give that. You won't be giving that to them. Not one bit. Okay? So overall, you will know how to decide what should be done in a particular situation. And at that particular time, you'll know how to manage what's going on versus trying to say something, just splat out and say something and think that somebody's not going to respond back to you. And then the next thing you know, you're putting your hands on the person because they done went too far, but you don't know you went too far. God is looking at that, how you are taking offense yourself. Okay? So it's best to avoid causing offense and revealing private things just because you're mad or angry or upset at that person or frustrated or you just fearful of something or you just trying to people please or something. Whatever it may be you in, you got to get out of it. So you will learn. You will learn this in the flesh. And this will be learned in your flesh as an outcome when it comes to what is a proverb. Okay, you'll learn this stuff. This stuff will be given to you over time because it will fulfill the young part of you, knowledge and discretion. It will teach you how to avoid causing offense. And causing offense is not what people think. Causing offense meaning you won't be the offensive person towards your neighbor. You will talk to them and you will respond to them in a mature way. Cussing and all that stuff is going to cause someone to do the opposite of avoiding offense. They're going to take offense. And what people do when they take offense, they get back at you. Revenge. And I know it's this one person, it's this one woman who always talks about her mom and says that she calls her a B and everything. She just used all kind of profanity. and say she just being real. She say, I'm being real. But that's taking offense and setting your mama up. In reality, you setting your mother up because all you doing is cursing at her. You're talking about how she's a bitch and all of that. And you saying that she can't do nothing. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. I'm just telling you, this is how my mama been a narcissist all her life. And blah, blah, blah. You speaking all words of offense and thinking that your mama don't got a flesh and that she's not going to come back with that. You're giving this out to her. But a proverb will teach you to continue to learn, not stop it what you think is okay, not stop it what you think you should be giving to somebody else just because you feel in some type of way. It's not a proverb. It's not going to do that. It's going to fill you up and you're going to consistently learn what it is, how to behave and how to speak. Because you're going to keep getting it in. Keep getting it in, keep getting in, keep getting it. You're going to keep getting it till it fulfills this flesh up until you get that behavior change, until you get that speech change, period. Okay? So you will always, so the next one, it says, as we are getting this good breaking news, it says, what is a proverb? A proverb is also to do with, wait, hold on, I forgot. Let me tell you this. Your flesh man, which is your young man, your flesh man gets everything last. And your spirit gets everything first. Okay? Your flesh man gets everything last. Remember that. But your spirit man gets everything first. So when I say that like that, that puts the warning out for the first will become last and the last will become first. That becomes a warning when I say that. If I put that with what I got here, it says your flesh man gets everything last and your spirit man gets everything first. So if God come to you and says, as you are doing something, and he says that, it's up to you how you you analyze what he's saying, because that could be a warning to you because of how you're doing things, how you're behaving and how you're speaking. So this becomes a warning. The first, if God say the first will be last and the last will be first, that becomes a warning to you in particular. That becomes a warning to you. And that's telling you that your flesh man that comes last will be first. And your spirit man who comes first will be last, which means that you will lose out on your spirit man and you will be fully flesh. That's mainly warning you that if you keep responding like this, in this way, in this manner, if you keep behaving like this, if you keep speaking like this, then your first man, which is your spirit man, that's going to be last. And your last man, which is your flesh man, that's going to be first. And you, if you don't got the spirit man, right there with the flesh man, you are just fully flesh. See, that becomes warning now to you. And I know a lot of you didn't look at it like that, but that becomes warning to you now. And it's telling you that your flesh man gonna be fully flesh and God's not gonna be with you no more. That's what they're saying. That your flesh man is gonna be fully flesh and God not gonna be with you no more. If you keep acting this way, he's not gonna be with you no more. You're gonna be fully flesh. And if you fully flesh, you're gonna be by yourself out there and going into terrible, terrible, terrible places that you don't have no business being. Okay, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. Had a little malfunction. So, yeah, that becomes a warning to you now. That's a warning to you now because now your speech and behavior is acting up. As soon as spirit won't be with that, spirit can't be with that. You're going to be right there, fully flesh, and it's some stuff that's going to happen. Because if God's not going to be there, he's going to be gone. Like, just far away from you. Not saying that he's not still there because he's in darkness too, but you're going to be fully flesh and he's going to handle that. So you got to, at some point, you got to stop doing certain behaviors and speaking in certain ways. You're going to have to, right? Okay. So I wanted to say that as well. Now, as we go down, where was I? Oh, so as we go to number 5 says that a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. Now, let me tell you what that means as pertaining to what is a proverb. Okay? What a proverb, when it comes to what is a proverb, we looking at this. How your wise man will begin to hear. So mainly what it's saying is you will always be hearing and increasing. That's what a Proverbs does to you. It causes you to always be hearing and increasing. Always. That's what a Proverbs means to you. When you get in all those things that God is going to give to you, which is wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. And once it takes over your flesh, meaning God comes back to flesh, comes back in the spirit and gives light to the flesh and makes it aware, and then your behavior and your speech changes, then you will always be hearing and always increase. That's nonstop for you as a proverb. It'll be nonstop for you as a proverb. Okay. So you're always learning so you won't be in an offensive mode all the time. Meaning that anytime somebody does something to you, anytime somebody says something to you, you offended. And so you take that offensive mode towards them and you're ready to tell them and let them have it through your bad behavior, what it is that's on your mind. Right? And that's because a lot of you offend yourself and don't even know you offending yourself first before you go and offend somebody else. Because you take something in, you got offended off of it. You're looking at certain things, you got offended off of it instead of managing it. What they call it, micromanaging it. Instead, you took ownership of it, start distributing out things in the wrong way instead of micromanaging what you already have. You got resources. God has fulfilled your flesh with what you need. Give that instead of giving what you've always gave. Right? So a lot of you offend yourself by putting yourself into what is it? An acquired position, should I say? An acquired position. You put yourself in certain positions. That's what that is. That you put yourself in that position to be that offended. Your mind blew up, your heart blew up, everything just started going, building up all this stuff. And then that's when you let that person have it. And you exploited all private stuff that wasn't even supposed to come out from you towards them. Instead, you were supposed to have been giving them God so that they can then in return, because they got a flesh too, give you God. Hello? So, as we go on, it says, so if you say what you really want to say, in other words, if you say what you really want to say on your mind, that's on your mind, you will offend yourself first. Okay? You offend yourself first. Other than that, there is no offense if you manage what you're going to say, if you manage what you are going to do first. And whatever someone else does after that, you won't have to put your hands or your body parts on no one to seek revenge on them, back on them. You won't have to do that. You won't have to use your body. You won't have to use your words because, people get mad at people and, it's all kind of people out here that's doing stuff to kids, doing stuff to women, men, everything through offense. Taking revenge out on people due to offense. You might have got offended off of the way somebody dressed. Offense comes as simple as somebody dressing a certain way and you got offended because they should have known that you was going to try to put your hands on them to rape them. It could be simple as that. Simple-minded people doing simple-minded stuff. Ain't that crazy? When all they did was work something tight, you was the one that got offended, and you didn't have to. Cheating, adultery, fornication, all that stuff is just what it is. It don't need you to operate for it and make it be through taking out offense. Why? Come on now. So you know, no one knows if you are offended. Nobody knows that you offended or not. Nobody knows that. You know, nobody knows that. So to just bust out with something towards your neighbor, towards somebody, just because you think that they should know, even be like, I'm a man, you know I'm a man. You know, that's offense for you to say that somebody know just because you a man, that it was okay for you to take that young girl and do what you did to that young girl, which is RAP her or molest or whatever it may be that came across your mind. Come on now. Come on. You gotta understand that this stuff gotta stop. This is the offense God is talking about. The offense that people do, and they take off on somebody else without that other person knowing that you offended. Then you may come visit their homes, be in their houses. Some of y'all know how to do that. You watching their face, doing all kind of different things, visiting their home because you don't like what they speaking about. Offense. Not knowing that what you doing is going to come back on you. You don't know that? It's going to come back on you for you doing trespassing against your neighbor. My thing is, as a proverb, I forgive you for your trespasses. It's in the Bible as a prayer that I forgive you for your trespasses against me. Right? I have to say that because that's necessary. Now, so you will always be able to hear and to always increase in your learning. You will also, as a proverb, be a man. Okay, being a man you will become a man, a true man of God, which is you will become a man of understanding. And you will attain to this wise counsels that you get in. Now, what is the wise counsel in which I spoke to you about? It is, what did I say? Let me see. If we go back up here, it is wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. You will become a man once all that feeds you and fulfills you up. You will be a man of understanding when you get in justice, wisdom, judgment, and equity. What's the opposite of equity? Iniquity. Iniquity, that's what leaks from your flesh. But equity is what leaks out from your spirit to your flesh, man, and gives it everything that it needs. Mm, you know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, your flesh man, it leaks iniquity, but your spirit man, it leaks equity. That's your opposite. Equity is your opposite of iniquity. Okay? So you will become a man of understanding and you will attain to this wise counsel, and that you're getting in through wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity in the spirit man to your flesh man, filling your flesh man up with everything it needs, to where you not taking offense to anything nobody say, anything nobody does. Okay? Which means your heart will be filled with this stuff. Your mind will be filled with this stuff. And all that old stuff that you dealt with will flee as you continue to learn and grow. Your whole flesh will be taken over by this stuff. Now, I still have to give you this word, even though this person downstairs don't like that I'm saying what I'm saying. Because I never heard them make all this much noise before in my life. So they're not liking that I'm doing this at all. So don't pay attention to my background, because I have nothing to do with that. But get this word. What is the proverb? Your whole flesh will be taken over by this stuff. Your young man is your flesh man. It gets everything last, like I said, and your spirit man gets everything first. So the first becomes last and the last becomes first. Could be a warning, like I said, also if you're not adhering to the first thing, and that is spirit, especially if it's trying to fulfill the flesh. Don't stop spirit from fulfilling the flesh. Our flesh will be just flesh without God. God is saying, keep on not listening. In short, God's saying, keep on not listening. And He's not gonna be with flesh no more. He gonna take the spirit away, and you will not be able to live without spirit. You'll be gone off the face of this earth. Keep on misbehaving. Keep on speaking the way you speaking. Keep getting in that level of offense. Keep on. And it's gonna be some people rising up against you because you are in offense mode. And you're gonna be wondering, why this person doing this to me? Why that person doing that to me? Get out of offense mode and get back with Christ. Get back with God. That's life, and life everlasting. That's what that is. Okay? Get back to it. So, where we at? If I could take you back when I told you what is the question is, I want to ask you this question. If you remember, what is the opposite of equity? What is the opposite of equity? Because I just told you what it was before we get into this other stuff that we're about to get into. in verse number, we're going to verse number 6. But I wanted to ask you a question. What is the opposite of equity? I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to answer, and then I'm gonna say what that is, because I've already said it. 1, 2, 3. The opposite of equity is iniquity. Equity comes from the spirit man, and iniquity comes from the flesh man. Okay? And I want you to remember that, because iniquity may be what flesh does, but equity is what spirit gives to flesh. And it stops that, it basically shields that equity, that iniquity from coming out from you, and equity will come out from you. Okay? So, yeah, remember that. So as we go to number 6, it says to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise, and their dark saying. So mainly, what is hold on, what is a proverb? Let's go back down here. What is a proverb? A proverb is what it is. A proverb is a proverb. Because to know what a proverb is to understand what a proverb is. So a proverb is just what it is, a proverb. So to know a proverb, it means to understand what a proverb is, and also to keep learning to get that interpretation correctly and precise and right, as you analyzing and learning and analyzing and learning what that picture and what God is truly trying to tell you. It takes a lot of learning to do that. It takes a lot of stuff to do that. So then it says what a proverb is the words of the wise. It's the words of the wise. Okay? Because it has many things that works up that wise side of you. It's the words of the wise, meaning you delicately seeking truth, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, judgment, justice, equity. You wisely seeking after this truth so that you can know how to behave and how to speak when you going about your day. You just not saying no anything. You saying what you're supposed to say. You doing what you're supposed to do. Because you are getting in. The interpretation is becoming stronger and stronger on what you need to know and to understand, right? So all of that. What is a proverb? A proverb is the words of the wise. The wise, the stuff that's going to be coming to you is wise. It's going to be some wise saying. It's going to be some wise behavior. It's going to be wise. Wise to even be around you. Like privilege wise. WISE. Privilege wise to be around. People going to be just like saying, it's wise to even be around you. It is a privilege to be around you. And I didn't even know that it's this wise to be around you. And they're going to want to do the same. And not take from you, but they're going to want to do the same. And all of the dark sayings within this stuff, you get it. You get it. That's what a proverb is, that you get it. You get all the dark sayings because you've been learning and you've been analyzing, and God has been giving you more. And then you've been communicating with God, and He's been feeding you more and more and more to the point of where you are at. Now, as we go to number 7 says in Proverbs Chapter 1, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Now, I would say this to you as it pertains to what is a proverb. A proverb is somebody who fear the Lord, because that's what you brought to. When you get wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity provided for you. Once you get all those things, the fear of the Lord is just going to take over you. That's automatic. You're going to get that. Because all these different things that's going to be happening all at once. This is why you're going to be so wise to be around. Because you're going to get all of this stuff at once. And all of this stuff that's coming in you, the fear of the Lord is going to be your beginning of knowledge. All this knowledge that you're getting in that makes you wise, because you're around wise, you getting in wise counseling, you taking it in, you perceiving it in order to receive it. It's coming in. It's making you more and more aware to where you analyzing it and you learning. Analyzing and learning. Analyzing and learning. And upgrading and uplifting. Upgrading, uplifting. Non-stop. But then it says, what is not a proverb? What becomes not a proverb? What becomes not a proverb is these things, okay? What's not a proverb is a fool who despise this wisdom of what is wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. All that stuff that fulfills a man to make him a man of understanding and make him behave like that, study like that, speak like that, and do like that. Nobody gonna understand how you doing what you're doing. It's gonna be difficult for them. They're gonna be scratching their head as to, what am I seeing? He's being committed to his wife. His wife is being committed to him. Their children are behaving. They don't have to do all this extra stuff. It's just mind-boggling to the fool as to how you go about doing what you're doing. And they not going to understand. They going to make you not understand what you understand. Because they a fool. The name fool is the opposite of a proverb. Okay? The fool is the opposite of a proverb. So you got the proverb and you got the fool. The fool is the one who does not attain to all these things, which is included in the proverb. But a proverb is a man and a woman of God, a man and a woman of understanding. Of God meaning you've taken all this stuff in, because you just can't say you love God. No, it's some stuff going on here. Justice, judgment, wisdom, and equity. It's some stuff fulfilling your flesh, making you a changed individual. So you getting some stuff that adds up to God. Not just saying I'm God, because you're not God. Why you acting like what you acting like, little God? You little gods acting like that. Worldly and having doctrines of devils and spreading those doctrines to other people. Crazy. So the opposite of a proverb is a fool. And what does a fool do? Okay? Because now I'm going on the road of what is a fool? What is a fool? What does a fool do? So first and foremost, in number 8, it says, my son. My son. He said, my son, not the fool. Okay, the fool is not the proverb. The proverb is a proverb. The fool is a fool. But he goes into saying in number 8, my son, specifically said, my son, not the fool, my son, you gonna hear the instructions of your father. My son will. Now he said, my son, meaning you who is the proverb will hear your father. It's not talking about your physical father. It's talking about a proverb man of God and a proverb woman of God. You, who he's calling his son and also his daughter, you're going to hear the instructions of your father, which is him. Okay? You're going to hear everything that he's doing, which he's giving you this wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity to fulfill your flesh. So you won't fulfill what's in the flesh. Meaning he giving his spirit to you all over again, but you're going to have to analyze and learn and get a word from the Lord and speak to the Lord. You're going to have to keep doing that. Yeah, ongoing, nonstop, meaning you got to be consistent. You can't take away consistency. Consistency is a must. It's a must. Just like when you were in school, you started off with an A. And as you put in the work, some of you either went down or you stayed at an A, right? That's what some of you did. Either some of you went down a grade or you stayed at that A. I remember in school, I used to be like, why did I go down? I started in an A, now I'm at a B, now I'm at a C. Did this happen? A lot of times I was baffled as to how did I get to a C from an A. And I'm putting all work in. Not enough. It was not enough, obviously. But a fool is opposite of a proverb. Of a proverb. Okay? In a minute, you should see, you should already be knowing what a proverb is, because I'm telling you the opposite of a proverb is a fool. Okay? So when he specifically said, my son, meaning you are his son because he's there with you, fulfilling you, and you are forever learning, forever analyzing, and getting things in, and leveling up, and being an uplifting to your brother, right? So you will be forever hearing the instruction of your Father, which is the Lord our God, who's going to be forever giving you what you need. And then it goes on to say, and you will not be his son. You won't forsake the law of your mother. You won't forsake the law of your mother. It's not speaking about your mother, physical mother. If you're reading this correctly, this is talking about the things we just mentioned, right? I'm teaching you how to use, I'm showing you, I'm giving to you what it is on how to use what you're reading to get information out. So the Father is what gives you the justice, wisdom, judgment, and equity. That's what makes you grow and know the instructions about it. But it say don't forsake the law of your mother, meaning it's not talking about your mother, people. It's using it as a way of speaking to you, just like when it says she, when it's not talking about she, and so on and so forth. It's telling you that do not forsake these laws that you have been given. Meaning, don't try to be the fool. Don't be a fool and not take in this wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, the laws of these things. Because within that, there is no law, right? Within that space, getting all that stuff that God has given to you, the Father, there is no law in there. But if you try to get away, meaning forsake it, then you passing through where the law is, and you will be dealt with by what's over there in flesh. You don't know what's in flesh, and it taking over you. You don't even know what you're capable of doing. So it's best to not to be the fool. It's best to be proper. So don't forsake the laws, which is the laws is wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Don't forsake those laws. Don't try to be like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about, so I don't feel like doing it. I don't understand it, so I'm just gonna ignore it. No, don't do that. Don't ignore it. Still gonna be there with you. Who wants to feel guilty and shame for the rest of their life because you keep on forsaking the law and going in the fool and being there? Who wants to deal with that? And then it says, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto your head. Who is they? Who is they? Let's just know this is the they in which they are talking about, which is what we already read. Look at that. The they in which they are talking about is not your mother and father physically. It's talking about the they which are wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Don't get off of this, because then you will not understand what this is trying to say to you. Stay on the verses so you can understand what the Father gonna give you pertaining to these words. So, for they shall be, it's not talking about the they as your mother and your father, earthly mother and father. It's talking about the they, which is wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Those things will be an ornament of grace to your head and chains about your neck. Because it's going to have you to make wise decisions. It's going to make you speak wise things. And anything that's trying to rush past it's going to be a problem. It's going to break the chain. It's going to break the grace that's upon your head. Because it's going to blow up. Like it's going to be that much rage coming from you. And holiness can't stay there. The holiness can't stay there if you're doing all that, right? So then in 10, it says, my son. It specifically says, my son. My son. My son. My son. Like he's saying, my son, not the fool, because the fool is not his son. The fool is not God's son. But the my son, he said, my son, like he's saying it proud, like a father would. Equating that to a father, like a father would, because he's your father. So he's saying, my son, my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. Do not consent. He's saying, my son, I'm not talking to you, fool, not the fool, you, because you're not my son. But my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. Meaning, don't consent to what they do and say. Don't misbehave and don't speak in that way and what they doing and what they saying. Don't consent to the fool. Proverb. Don't. My son. Listen, my son. Not a fool. My son, which is a proverb. If sinners entice you, do not consent. Meaning bail out. Do not pass go. Don't do it. Don't you sit up there and let that sinner entice you, my son. My son will not do such a thing. No, not one bit of it. And then 11 says, if they say to you, right? This is fools. If the fools say to you, my son, if the fools say to you, come with us and let us lay and just wait for some blood. And my son, if the sinner says, let us lurk privately for the innocent, and let's do this without a cause. My son, if the fool says that, the fool is the sinner, the person without God, right? That's mainly what it's saying. He's not a proverb, so he's a fool, right? The opposite of a proverb is a fool. Either you are a proverb or you are a fool. What is a proverb? Either you are a proverb or you are a fool. So the fool is the sinner. And that sinner, my son, if that sinner come lurking around that corner privately for to see about some innocent person without a cause, and they sit there and they tell you, come and go with us so we can go and lurk around and wait for some blood, put it on our hands. And then number 12 say, a fool, if that sinner sit there and say, my son. If a sinner come and say, let us swallow them up alive, just like a grave would, and let's swallow them up whole, just like they would go down into the pit of hell. Let us do that. That's a fool. Meaning that fool not going to worry about what they say to you. That fool not going to worry about how they behave towards you. A fool and not a proverb. That's a fool. That man is a fool. That woman is a fool if they going to sit there and take you down. There's no need to defend yourself if you're not offended. Right? There's no need to defend yourself if you ain't offended. Proverb. The only person who needs to offend themselves is a fool. Because a lot of stuff gonna come from that in that flesh. The flesh gonna have a lot for you to obtain towards. And this ain't gonna be right. Because it's telling you that It's gonna, hey, we swallowing the innocent up. We ain't gonna care what we do. We finna get them down and dirty. We finna be to where they ain't gonna be able to stop being mean, stop being angry, stop being uh fornicating, stop doing committing adultery. We gonna get them to the point where they just gonna surrender everything to us. Number 13 says we're going to take all their precious substance. Fool. And what is a fool? The sinner. That's a sinner. And what is a sinner? And what we read, a sinner is a person without God. Because a proverb is different than a fool. A fool is a sinner. A proverb is somebody who got the Spirit of God consistently dwelling in that law. Because in that place that they dwell in is no law. But a fool, though, there's law there. And they want every piece and every part of your precious self. They don't care about you. They don't care how they talk to you. They don't care how they do you. They got all kind of thoughts in their mind about being offended of what you did to them and how you did this to me, how you did that. They got an unforgiving heart. Now, there are some people that you do got to leave alone because they are the ones that is coming for you and your children. Not to do good, but to do evil. But to just let evil out, just to be standing, not good. And then you expect them to be, what is it? To be given what you given? No. That's just like everybody who's sitting up here talking about black and white stuff. You're not finna just let stuff happen. You're gonna seek revenge, which is why y'all need to know that stuff is false. It ain't even real. It's just you being offended. You is in offended mode. And you don't even gotta be offended. You causing the other person to be offended in offense. And now that once they take offense, they doing things they ought not to do back to you. And it's just keeping a cycle going. Come on now. That's the thing between man and woman, just like you would you look at that black and white thing. So they taking your precious substance, a fool, somebody without God, a sinner. And they are filling their houses with your stuff that you don't know they got. Because they is able to just yell at you and you yell back. To talk to you crazy and you talk crazy back. You got offended. They don't know you got offended. But you got offended. So you just gonna do something to them that you know you ain't supposed to do. Ooh, a sinner. And at the same time, number 14 says the fool gonna be casting in all of the lot that they have among themselves. That's what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna be forsaking God all day long. Because they gonna want you to get angry. They gonna want you to get mad. They gonna want to feel how they feel, and they want you to do the same thing. They don't want you to do the opposite. That's too much like rain. So they're going to be casting in a lot, all of your lot amongst themselves. And amongst themselves, they're going to be carrying one purse. They're going to have one purse, and that one purse is going to be your stuff. It's going to be your stuff that they got in that one purse. And you're going to be like, you're going to be praying and saying something and all that. But if there is no God, you're going to be doing the same thing they doing, looking in that purse for something you ain't supposed to be looking in that purse for. But that brings me to a dream that I had the other day where I was praying this prayer, but at the same time I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. And the Lord had showed me that this person had gave me back the purse, had gave me a purse, and it was a big purse, and they was looking through it, but they was like, here, you can have it. And I'm like, are they giving me this because it's mine? Or are they giving me this because they just trying to hand down something from what they've been doing, which is taking from me my substance, trying to take my substance away. Well, what they didn't know is that while they was looking through this purse and then trying to get me to see what's in this purse, which was full of foolishness, material, I said, and I walked away freely. And I was like, my God will fulfill me, make me brand new. I began to pray right. Fulfill me, Lord. Make me brand new versus me praying, saying that I'm going to get back what I'm going to give me back what the enemy stole from me. When I prayed it like that, that didn't go the way it supposed to went. I wound up praying that prayer. I got back what the enemy stole from me, but the enemy also stole some other stuff. So it was a lot of stuff in that bag. And I didn't know what was mine. So that prayer was not directly directed right. So what I should have been praying was that I'm going to get back everything that what is owed to me. Owed to me. That's what I should have been specifically saying is I'm getting back what is owed to me. And that is what's going to fulfill. That's fulfillment. If I leave a blanket statement like I did, that leaves me to get back something plus somebody else's stuff that they stole, and they just leave it right there. I'm not going to be dealing with that. Then that means they're leaving for somebody else to come looking through that same bag and in one purse. And we all ain't finna be looking through this purse. I'm good. Bye. Because you're going to give me back what is owed to me. See, that's specific. Versus me saying, give me back everything that the enemy stole from me. That's not specific. No, I'm going to give back everything owed to me. Period. Tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. God was showing me how to pray. And he was doing it, he'd been doing it for so many for so many years on being specific in my prayer. Like when I was saying the thing, I know that a person said that you're supposed to bind up the enemy and all this whole different stuff. But I saw as I bind it and loose the enemy still was able to go to heaven and come right back down and be free to come right back down again and try it again to come at me. So in the spirit, I'm seeing things just being coming back down, shooting at me. So the Lord was letting me know, can't pray like that. That's not being specific. If I'm saying bind and loose. No, bind and loose what? I even said, I bind and loose you in heaven. And I'm noticing in the spirit, as I'm seeing in the spirit, I'm seeing I'm binding and loosing them in heaven. They go in heaven, they bind and loose, but they still being let down. As it is on earth, it is in heaven, right? So they still able to come down and come at me and try it again. So we got to be specific in how we pray. Can't be just binding and loosing and think that's going to stop something. It's not. It's just going to make them go back up and try it again with something more powerful. No. It's got to be specific and it's got to stop. So, yeah. This is what a fool, a sinner is a fool, not a proverb. A proverb is a man of understanding, meaning understanding ain't nothing but God. God is understanding. That's it. So a man of understanding is a man of God, not a man of God, not a God. He's not no God. He's a proverb, which is a man of God and not a fool. He's not a fool, but he's a proverb. The opposite of a fool is a proverb. The opposite of a proverb is a fool. And a fool is a sinner. And a sinner is a man without God. That's it. Okay? So, as we go on to 15, it says it again. My son will not walk in the way with them. He just won't. Like I said, when they set that purse down, I prayed the wrong prayer. And then somebody else tried to come and look in that same purse because the purse was up for grabs. I walked away. That is a my son situation. When I walked away, that was my son, which is the same as my daughter, because I am the real of the son, the man. So my son will walk away. He will not walk with them. Not in that way. No. He will refrain, my son will refrain his foot from that path, from their path, a fool, a sinner path. Because a sinner, a fool, their feet run to evil. A fool, a sinner, which is not a proverb person, that's not a proverb. That is a fool. A fool, which is a sinner, will make haste to shed blood. They not going to stop for shedding blood. They going to make sure they terminate you with every fiber of their being by abusing you up and down, speaking abusive and acting abusive towards you. They're not going to stop and go. They're not going to stop and go. They're going to keep on, keeping on. But number 17 says, but surely in vain, that net is going to be spread in the sight of any bird. You know, the bird as in, what's the bird? The bird that is the sparrow. You know, the little sparrow. But any bird, not even just a sparrow, but any bird, any type of bird, that net gonna be spread for you. So if you hasten to shed blood, you run into evil, that net right there gonna be right with you. You've seen how birds, they move fast. Soon as I'm outside driving and everything, and I come up towards a bird, they think that I'm finna stop, but I gotta keep going. They move fast. They move fast in there. Zoom. That's what birds do. But the Lord says that you birds that's sinning, acting like a fool, doing what fools do, the net's gonna be for you and the fool because of what you're doing and what you're saying. And guess what? It says, and the fool, they lay in wait for their own blood. What makes you think they not gonna lay in wait for yours? They lay in wait for their own blood. They lurk probably for their own lives. That's what fools do. They lurk probably for their own lives, trying to see what they can do against their own self, because they don't got no God. They don't got no God. So they lurking in the background for their own self, not unknowingly. They don't know that they're getting themselves in this amount of trouble and hurt and pain and chaos. They don't know they're doing that. They just don't. So 19 says that this is totally the fool. Walking in the way of the fool. This is the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. Walking in the way of a fool is the way of a person that in everybody who is of the one person that is greedy for gain. That's what the fool is. The fool is the person who's very much so greedy for gain. That sinner, a sinner is a person who is greedy for gain. Because they don't care what they gain. They don't care what they gain, and they greedy for gain, though. They don't know that ultimately they gaining being a sinner and a fool, and iniquity is coming from them, and they are operating in flesh, and there is no God in flesh. They are man without God, and they don't know this. So that's greed, right? It's telling you what greed is. Greed is that man who's in a rush to do the things opposite of God. They're not utilizing God. They are greedy for gain of the flesh, meaning that they don't care what they say or do. That is a sinner. That is a fool, not a proverb. And that person who is greedy for gain, they take away the life of the owner of it. Okay? Whoever that is, that person who's greedy for gain, that fool, that sinner, they wind up taking the life of the owners of it. That's what they wind up doing. Meaning they take away their own lives right along with yours. They want to try to. So it's best if, guess what they always say in the Bible? Stand out of the way of the angry man. The angry man is the person who is greedy for gain. That person that don't know how to manage, they taking ownership to everything. Everything is in ownership unto them. They ain't putting themselves in a management position to manage their anger, to manage their rage, to manage what they speak, to manage what they do. They not. They just hurrying up and trying to get away with doing what they do. That's sin. And they doing what they doing without God. And that is what they said, greedy for gain. Taking their lives and others with them. Because normally when a person owns everything, oh, my life is messed up. You owning it? That's your life? Oh my God, I had a bad day. You owning it? That's your stuff. That's bad is your stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe that this person did this to me. Why? Why they have to do it to me? You owning that stuff? No, don't own that. That's not yours to own. Manage that. Forgive them, pray for them, walk away, and let God go. Let him do what he gonna do. Because if they don't get it, it goes back to what it says that up here, if we go back up, it says about the grave, right? They will be in the grave. Let's see, is it that? Let's go back up to. Let's go back up to. Oh, where did I go? They will be the ones who will go back to the grave, right? They'll be the ones that will be the ones that will be what to say, swallowed up alive in the grave and whole, like it's going down to the pit. And that's what it said in 12. If we go back to 12, it says that what's going to happen to people who own this stuff that's being presented before them from a fool. And they taking offense to this stuff and doing revenge back out on these people. Forgive these people. Walk away from this stuff. Stop being like them, being greedy for gain. You can't wait till this person get what they gonna get. Oh, I can't wait. No, forgive them and walk in the proverb. So, wisdom justice, judgment, and equity. That's something that's going to fulfill your flesh man difficulty, complex as it is, them very, very, very dark sands, no matter what, it's still going to be taken away. And it's going to be okay. Because a fool is a person who's greedy for gain, because that person just can't wait till you get what you deserve. That person can't wait to get back at you. That's greedy for gain. That person can't wait to turn out to be a fool because they owning everything. And therefore their life is being taken from them. Hello? In Jesus' name, amen. Now, that is that. And that is the good breaking news. Now, I hope you understood what I said. Overall, you are the proverb. A proverb is a man and a woman with God. A fool is a man and a woman without God. They are known as a sinner, and they refuse to manage their anger, manage their sin. And I'm not saying like manage your sin. I'm saying you're not allowing God to give the what is it? The wisdom, the justice, the judgment, and the equity that you need to fulfill your flesh to make you do the ultimate change and walk in that behavior, to talk that speech. That's what I'm meaning. You're not allowing that to take place. You too greedy for gain. You just want to make sure that they get what they're going to get. And you want to make sure that it happens today. Just like some of these interpreters, they interpret wrong. But the Lord said in this thing that you're going in a proverb, you're going to be able to interpret because you're going to increase learning. It said it up in this proverb, right? All right. So your answers are right there in that book about what is a proverb. Yeah. So I will talk with you later. Salute to you, soldiers. Salute to you. And may we meet again someday. Stay blessed. Stay tuned for more. And bye for now.